34 years old. A bit old, I know, I'm sorry, but been in the game for quite a long time and super excited to do this. So let's start. First of all, before we start, I want to say I hope you're all doing well in this tough time with the coronavirus. It's a hard time, and who would ever thought that we're going to be in this position that we have to stay at home and are not able to do anything. But also take this time to like really focus on yourself and learn different new skills, you know what I mean? Like, I hope this Q&A will help as well for you to like get motivated and still have the motivation of everything that you want to do. I started my journey when I was 5 years old. That was when dancing started for me. My mom put me on a performing arts school back home in Amsterdam. That's where I'm from. And yeah, I did it for almost 10 years. Learned different styles as jazz, ballet, tap, musical theater, contemporary, modern, all that stuff. I also performed when I was that age. At the same time at that school, we did a lot of TV shows. So as a kid, I used to do a lot of TV shows in Holland, and I learned a lot from it. I actually learned a lot of my discipline from that, and knowing where all the cameras are and you know how to work with all that stuff. On the age of 17, 16, I decided to like skip all of the performing arts side, and I just wanted to focus more on street foundations. So I started training more in hip hop and house and locking and popping and all the foundations to get to know that side a bit more and knowing what that was. And then after that, I realized that I really wanted to move on with dancing, and I really wanted to study it and like just go to like a college or like a university to get to do that. My mom didn't allow me to do that, so I never went to school like an Erdang or like whatsoever to really study dance. But I had a lot of years of foundation and a lot of years of knowing what to do in different kind of styles. So yeah, I studied different stuff. I studied fashion, I studied I did a Bachelor of Education, and after that, when I finished, I knew that I wanted to become a professional dancer and work in the commercial scene, in the commercial industry with different artists, and just develop myself. In Holland, it was really small, and it's super small. It's like a small country. There's not that much opportunity, and if there's a job, they always use the same people. And it was really tough for me to become like one of those girls, especially because I didn't come from a college where they normally always found the girls that they were like, okay, we would love to work with them. So it was a tough task, or how do you say it? Like, it was hard for me to come into that and become one of those girls. I struggled for a long time. Didn't really have the motivation anymore, and I was really insecure. I wasn't sure if I was good enough. A lot of others, like just really down on yourself. And at that point, I had a friend, and she moved to LA because she was really successful in dancing, and she never wanted to live in Amsterdam and work as a dancer in Amsterdam. So she decided to go to LA, and she made that move and worked a lot there, booked a lot of good jobs. And at a certain time, she was like, I want to just set up an intensive. So she invited me to come and help her out with the intensive. And at the same time, I could also take the intensive and learn for myself a lot from all the different teachers, which really opened my eyes and really realized for myself that I was like, okay, I really like this, and I need to start believing in myself. Learned a lot from everyone there. Got more like confidence of, okay, I am good enough, I can do this. I am able to become who I want to become, and I've got this, you know what I mean? So it gave me so much more confidence to like keep on going and just going for what I wanted to do. And at that time I was like, probably like, I would think I was 25. I was, yeah, a bit older, and I was like, okay, I'm not too sure if I'm maybe too old and stuff like that. You know, you always start thinking about all these things. But I still was like, yeah, no, you know, like, I'm happy I got that confidence back, and I'm happy I believe in myself, and I know that I feel like I can do this. At that time, went back to Holland. I saw somewhere that there was this audition for the EMAs in Germany. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. So I drove with a friend to Germany. Germany's not that far from Holland. And I did an audition and was really, really nervous, but had a great time and learned so much from everyone around me, and just for the first time being in an international audition. And yeah, that was a success. Like, I booked a job, and that was my first introduction with like, okay, this is sick. I'm gonna do a really sick TV show, an award show, the MTV EMAs, which is like a big show, that one of the biggest shows that you can do in Europe, you know what I mean? Really, really happy, and I was super happy that I booked that. And at the same time, I got signed with AMCK, which was super amazing because I didn't even know that they existed. And because of that job and because of the time that they saw me, Aisha really believed in me, and I was like, okay, that's great. So I booked that job, did my very first big job in 2012 with Taylor Swift. It was not like a massive job, as in like, it was nice to work with her, but I just opened the door and did like a few A's at the end of the show, at the end of the performance. But I was so thankful to be there and just to be surrounded by so many different people that was included dancers from the UK, but also dancers from France and dancers from Belgium, and people that all booked the job because they came to that audition. Or, you know, it was just so nice to see that that there's so much talent in the world, and especially in Europe, and that that Holland is so small, and that it could be better. So that gave me the motivation to move, and that's when I moved to London. And I realized that when I moved to London, it was really hard for me to move to London. I had to really work on a lot of stuff, as in like, I had no connections here. I didn't know anyone, only AMCK, and thank God I was already signed with them, but I still had to make connections with other dancers or take classes. So I took a lot of like different kind of classes. I learned a lot from Kendrick's class because that was a really good foundation class, but then commercial wise, I learned a lot from Cisco and Sean. And then I did like different kind of classes, and yeah, Kim Taylor, like there were so many different good classes that you could take to become the better dancer and to get seen as well. And I started also teaching my own classes at that time when I moved. Because at that time no one was really teaching heels, and I was like, that's really a big gap in the market now in London at that time. When I was in LA, I took a lot of classes with Aisha Francis and with like Michelle Jersey and Escalco, and like I was just like, yeah, I really like this, and I wanna get better in this. So I just started teaching it myself, and then I was like, why am I not going to teach it to other people? So that's how I started my heels class. It was super tiny. The first classes were only like 15 people, 12 people, but it got bigger by the year, and now I have a really successful class, which I'm really happy about. So yeah. To make myself so successful was my passion for dance, that I always was so passionate about it, and I love it so much, and I never wanted to give up. And I was always really like, I'm a fighter. I always want to like go for what I want to do and what I want to accomplish. So I was just like, I don't want to do this in Holland, and there are no jobs in Holland that make me happy, so I have to find it somewhere else. And yeah, it really helped for me to become successful here in London. And especially like when I moved, I just really networked a lot with like sending all my stuff to different agencies, not only JMEDC but also like Dancers Inc., Mass Movement, Mark Summers, Royston, R&D Creatives, and like different kind of agents to get to know, so they can get to know me, build up my portfolio, and then the balls start rolling, and you know, you get just invited to auditions. I work the best with JMEDC. They are like my mother agent. They give me all the nice jobs and the good jobs, and I'm so thankful for that. They are absolutely amazing. They've been there in my whole journey from the beginning since 2012, and yeah, so that's like 8 years now, and they've seen my growth and everything. I worked for a lot of big artists with them, and I'm super grateful for that. And yeah, and build up also good connections with choreographers that I worked with already like years ago, and that if they cannot come here, they trust me to take over the job or assist the job, you know what I mean? I think health is super important as a dancer. Eat healthy, make sure you always stay fit. Don't only think about dance classes, but also think maybe about going for a run, meditate, take the time for yourself, reflect on other stuff, because the dance industry is really tough, and it can make you really down. This industry is like, has a lot of ups and downs, you know what I mean? In our industry, there's no such thing as failure, and every experience that we learn, or that we are going through, is a learning experience. So keep that in mind for yourself. That's so important. And yeah, you know, if you have that passion, and we all have that passion, just go for it. And for me, what really helps every day is looking in the mirror to myself, looking into the mirror and saying to myself that I have to believe in myself. It's so cliche, it's so like, okay, standard, but telling myself, believe in yourself. You are amazing, you are beautiful, you know what I mean? I'm a queen. And don't let anyone take that away from you. And don't forget that, you know what I mean? It's really important to remember that for yourself. What's also really important, I think, is even if we are dancers, just try to find something else that you like as well, and do and learn. And like, I love to go to the museum and just go for walks and stuff like that. And I learned so much from that, because every time when I see art, it helps me in the way how I think when I create, sometimes for my class even, or just like when I want to move, or when I hear a song, and it just helps for so many different things. So just try to find different other things to do apart from dancing to develop yourself as a person. My younger self, I would tell to be more healthy. Definitely be more healthy and be more on my shit with, like, you know, like what I just told you guys, like work out a bit more and be more consistent. That's something that I would tell my younger self, because I can be a bit lazy. My quote, my thing that I want to share with you is just like, believe in yourself. Look into that mirror and say to yourself, if you feel down, if you feel like you are insecure or you're going through things, just look at yourself. And even if you're crying and you just do it, like, it helps so much just to look at yourself and say to yourself, I'm amazing, I am beautiful, I'm great. Talk positive to yourself and it all gonna be fine. And I hope one day that I will just share a job with you guys, or put you guys on a job that I will do and that I will choreograph. I love to work with strong dancers. Work ethic is really important to me, and just being really, you know, it's all about vibes. It's all about vibes. But I definitely love a good strong dancer. Shout out to JME Dance Company. Bye.